Hello, it's Stephanie West. Welcome to Central Coast Music Chat. This is my show where I interview bands and musicians and artists on California's Central Coast. Today I have with me Velanche Stewart from Soul Dust Productions. Hey Velanche, how you doing?
Hey Steph, how you doing? Good to see you, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for being here.
No, my pleasure.
How have you been?
I've been good, navigating through this crazy pandemic thing. That where a lot of us were home, and now we're in the age of having to wear masks and being very careful and being around people Obviously, it would have been great to be able to be with you in person for an interview, but hey, a lot of people interviewing this way now. That's probably, just for the best. But I'm fine here. I've been keeping a little bit busy. Yeah, Soul Dust Productions. That's kind of been, um, how do I put it? It's like most other musical entities. Whether you're a live performer or a DJ, we all kind of had to take back seats for a little while, um, and there, people around who have been doing like live entertainment um, online, and that's one of the things that we are going to be doing as one of our events of one of our first events of this year. We actually did something last the Sunday before last, so I can tell you more about that later. But
Yeah,
we have fun.
excellent. For those who don't know, what is
Mhm.
Soul Dust and when did you start Soul Dust Productions?
Started Soul Dust Productions in November 2016. So the origins behind that was it's kind of a longer story, but I will say that I have been a DJ for a long, long time, and I haven't really done that many big gigs or that many gigs during that long time. And so about 2016, um, I started meeting more local DJs. Some of them I've known on and off for years, and others I had recently met. And there were more and more gigs that we were going to see one another, and sometimes we invite each other to gigs. And 2016 was an interesting year for us. That was the year that Prince passed away, and we had done some collaborate gigs that weekend, and which turned out to be fun. And then Slow Record Swap, which is the entity that does events where people can buy used records. Um, they had done a series of events at the now sadly closed place, the station.
Mhm.
And they had a series throughout the summer where got to know those DJs a little bit more. And then they had a big event, one of their big events over at what was the Grange Hall, now the Guild Hall, um, in summer of 2016. Met a few more DJs that I haven't seen before, and um, and also I think one of the big things was with one of the DJs that I know, I see him put together successful events, and I thought, well, I want to be able to try to see if I can be able to promote the way he did, and so that ended up being 80s night that I got together with a couple of DJs uh, called Hang the DJ, and that was a wickedly successful event. It was over at Bain the Drum, the old location, And not only did the tasting room filled up and the back beer garden filled up, but the parking lot filled up. It was phenomenal. It was crazy. And then we did a subsequent event, kind of the same kind of crazy with that crowd, called Nothing But the Funk, in November. And then I thought, well, it would be great to be able to see whether or not my friends can, I think we got something cooking here. Can we be able to do a DJ collective? So I reached out to several of them, and they all said yes. And it took some time after that, maybe I think maybe over about almost a week before we came up with the name. And Malik Miko, who is a local legend around this town, he came up with the name Soul Dust, and that's how Soul Dust Production came. And there was a long answer, but there was a story.
Yeah,
And I want to give credit what credit is due to be able to come up with that.
yeah, Malik is pretty cool. I think didn't he just voted like a year or two ago as like best DJ in the county?
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. I haven't kept up with him, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he is like legend, and he is probably one of the most humble DJs around here that I know of, and he's held in high regard, and I was honored that he, even though he doesn't have the time to be able to be part of our gigs all that much, he is a member, and we love him whenever he's able to join our gigs. And we're happy that we get to be able to go to a store and do this upcoming gig with him.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy, and I noticed that the DJ community here in the Central Coast is kind of tight knit, and that's nice. Everybody, there's a lot of competition, but everyone is kind of helps each other out. And so you're talking about the Soul Dust parties. I've been to a lot of your parties, and they're always a lot of fun. You said you got a new one coming up. What's going on now with this upcoming party? Is it going to be online, or what's the plan?
Yes, that is the plan. We I have to set it up here. We were all kind of missing each other, of course, as we do. And because our last gig, as far as a Soul Dust one, was, I want to say, in the new year. Otherwise, Jason Paris, one of our DJs, has set up something over at, God, the name escapes me, Lunared. Yeah, and he set out something where individual DJs would, Soul Dust or not, would try to go there and do a lounge type of thing. And that was one of the last gigs that we'd done before COVID kind of came into the picture. And like I said, we were missing each other, and so there was talk of, let's try to do a Zoom party, and obviously we were all kind of busy with different things. And I had twice, I want to say maybe in June, experimented with live streaming as a DJ, because that seemed to be the in thing right now. And I wanted to see if I could be able to do it here. And I done a couple of them, and they came out all right. So, but I wanted to be able to try to have the whole group together. And I knew that trying to be able to do the different, all of us trying to do it from different locations, that was going to be kind of tight, because there'll be logistics involved. You have to make sure that everyone's internet connection is working, and you have to make sure that they have a camera that they can be able to, they can be able to focus on each other and try to be able to look at logistics so that the whole thing sounded a bit daunting. And so we kind of were, kicking back and forth, and Malik, that great guy, he offered to have us do a live stream from his store, A Satellite of Love.
Very cool.
And yeah, and so about a week and a half ago, we did a test run over there, and the test run went fine. We were going to do the event that we are going to be doing coming up that night, but then I thought that it was going to be too soon. We need to be able to see how reliable the internet was going to work, how we're going to do with the transitions and all that, because that was the first time I was doing something like that. And like I said, that worked out fine and good. So now this event that's kind of coming up, with all the stuff that's been happening around San Luis Obispo and really around the country and around the world, with all the protests that have been going on, centering around the death of George Floyd, and police brutality, and also social inequities in the Black community. It's been remarkable to watch all those things unfold. And we've been working from time to time at Soul Dust alongside the folks at Race Matters Slow. Okay. And Race Matters Slow is an excellent organization run by Courtney Hale. And we've been with her, a couple of times, a few times in the last few years, doing events for them. And now that this thing has really blown up, I think she's probably busier than she's ever been. And then thinking that she and her organization are getting far more love and recognition. And we want to be, one of the DJs actually was Malik, who thought that we should probably do a fundraiser. And he didn't know who we were going to do the fundraiser for, but I thought after this incident of Floyd and all the protests, I thought that Race Matters would be the organization that could use some love. So we had just announced the Soul Dust Unity session, and that is going to be an event that's going to be live streaming from the Satellite of Love. It's not open to the public, so please don't come down and think you're going to come in and dance. We're going to have all doors closed. We have to kind of observe all of the things that you have to observe with social distancing. We're all going to have masks on, and yeah, but still, it's going to be a good time. We're going to have a variety of our Soul Dust DJs. So Vince, aka Navigate, Jason Perez, me. But I didn't need DJ for the first time, so they're telling me I got to do it now. So I'm gonna do it. Oh, yeah. Chad Fortin, and Malik, and special guests Mano Gill and DJ Mermaid.
Excellent. Yeah, they've been doing a lot of live streams on Instagram. And
yeah, I've been seeing that. Yeah, and she was happy, and she talked about it a little bit, and she was really happy. I'm really happy to see her following her passion, and of course I'm happy to see Gil following his, and it's great that they are still in contact with us. Yeah. And you were talking about the DJ community and how tight it is, and that you're a DJ, and there's other DJs that we met around here that have been really great, and I'm always bullish on supporting them, and it's good to be able to support other people, other outside our DJ community. So this is what we're going to be doing. The Unity session on July 5th, which is the day after July 4th, which is going to be a Sunday.
Yeah.
So
So July 5th. Okay, so where can everybody find this event?
We're going to do it on the platform we're going to be using is Mixcloud.
Okay.
And the reason why we're doing that is because Mixcloud, for those of you who don't know, Mixcloud has been a online community for about 10 years plus that has allowed folks, DJs, to be able to upload their mixes.
Right.
And they've been doing that for a long time. And they've also worked out deals with labels so you don't get taken down. So now, because of COVID, they pushed up their new service called Mixcloud Live, which is a video streaming service where if you have a paid Mixcloud account,
Mm-hmm.
you can do live stream video. And again, you won't have to worry about being taken down, because that's always one of my concerns about doing these kind of things. And I know that Facebook will take you down. YouTube is pretty stringent because after 3 strikes, you're banned. So don't take a chance with that. And Instagram kind of has takedowns too. So and Twitch is more popular for DJs now. But yeah, we want to look for a place that we won't get taken down. So that's why you choose Mixcloud. So we're going to be doing it at mixcloud.com/live/Velanche. That's VELANCHE.
Excellent. Okay, so I'll pop all that information in the description box for this video, so if people want to find it. But do you have to open an account with Mixcloud to be able to see it?
You don't have to have it to see it. But there's a chat component where you do have to have, you have to blog in the Mixcloud in order to chat. I'm not sure if we're going to be using the chat, just simply because we're all going to be focusing, we're going to be busy, and I'm going to be the camera operator, kind of. So, it'll be enough just for me to be able to concentrate on everything else that's going on. We'll be posting the link also on our social media feed. So we'll post it on Facebook. We'll post it on Instagram. We'll post it everywhere. And also, we're supposed to get some love for New Times too.
Excellent. So it's a fundraiser. How can people donate, and where are you going to be donating through?
So we'll on the day, I'm still working that out, but I think it's going to be through Venmo. And on the day of the event, we will have the link available for people to donate. I should say that we are being sponsored by Boo Boo Records. So yay, Boo Boo Records, thank you for that. And they're going to be pitching in a donation as well.
Very nice.
So it's really great to bring the community, together. And I wish, we could be able to expand the power to bring other DJs in, but it'd be like a telethon at this point. And who knows, maybe we might, but we just had to work with, the limitations of Malik's store schedule, and also the fact that I don't think we want to be able to keep them too late.
You've been DJing for a long time. Where did you start DJing? Did you start as a radio DJ or a live DJ? Where'd you get your start?
So I was a radio DJ. I started in 1997. I trained at KCPR Radio at Cal Poly. And that was my last year and a half before graduation. I go, I forgot. I was wanting to be DJ at KCPR, and I tried getting in a few years before, but I had to give up one of my classes that I was enrolled in at the time because they could only do it on a Wednesday, and I wasn't able to do that. So luckily I was picked the first time after being interviewed. And so I trained in the fall of '97. in the in the winter, January 1998, rare thing occurred for a DJ, which was that I ended up getting the kind of show. I ended up doing the show I wanted to do from the get go. So I had to do like the first. I had to do a 3 hour block on Saturday morning, 7 a.m. to 7 to 10 a.m. And that was kind of like, I found out later, few people wanted to get that spot. But I saw the Method and the Madness. So the first hour of the show, of the block, I done regular KCPR music. And then the other 2 hours was Urban Landscapes. And it's a show that I've done for on and off for about 17 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a long time. And so I have started that show there. And so it eventually moved to Thursday night and Friday night. And yeah, it was a good time doing that show. Started off with a trip hop, ambient, chill wave area, and then move into acid jazz and future jazz and lots of music from Europe and underground music here, club music. So through that, while I was there, I was also RPM director at KCPR, which I was in charge of electronic music.
Mm-hmm.
So I started getting records and other types of CDs, but mostly. But I started getting records, and so I ended up starting out in 2003. I ended up getting the DJ bug, so I ended up getting on eBay this. All-in-one DJ setup by American DJ. American DJ was a pretty cheap knockoff kind of brand. I don't know if it was knockoff, but it definitely was cheapo, El Cheapo. Mm-hmm. So it was the all-in-one was a mixer and 2 tabletop type DJ CD players that you can be able to have. And I outgrew that really quickly. I started getting more records. I wanted to get records. I wanted to play records. And so 6 months later, went back to eBay, got a Technique turntable, 1200, which I still have to this day. In fact, I have 2 of them because after I won that auction, the pawn shop was, I got another one. Yeah, sure. So I have them. I'm so glad that I have them because now if I were to sell those, I get mucho money. But no, there's a reason why people love their Technique 1200s, and I kept mine. And I could have stories behind that. But anyway, that was my start at DJing. And between then, 2003, 2004, and 2015, 2016, I'm lucky if I've done like a half a dozen gigs of playing live out or playing at some event during the year. That was really hard to do.
Yeah.
And I've done like a lot of them. I've done not just straight up shows like Urban Landscapes, but I have also co-founded a show that is still on KCPR now, Club 91, and started that in 2004. And that show is still continuing on KCPR to this day, although I haven't been doing that show since I left it about 2012 or so. But yeah, it wasn't until the year 2016 when more gigs that were coming in, and then doing so thus was another thing. So it was a long journey, and I guess the point of that is, if you really want to be a DJ, sometimes it might take you a long time. It's just like anything else that you're passionate about. Stay with it if you're really passionate about it, if it seems to you, because over time you could probably get rewarded for your persistence. Because it's just like, you go there, you're going and going and going, you're wondering if you should turn back, and then you might end up giving up just when, boom, the time comes where it's your moment. One of the reasons why we set up Soul Dust Production is to have an outlet for us to be able to put on the type of events that we like to be able to do and see that we would otherwise have to go out of town to be able to see. We bring the disco parties, we bring world music, we bring 80s, and even though we kind of go underground with our 80s, but then sometimes we'll go overground too and play favorites. We done funk parties and soul parties and jazz events, and I will tell you that the foundation for us is in soul and jazz and funk and boogie, but we are also we play a varied variety of styles of music, and so we don't lock ourselves into one different kind of style. So I think that's one part of it. Another part of it too is that, unlike a lot of other collectives around here, and there have been some great collectives around here, most of those DJ collectives, they are younger, which means B, most of them are in school, and C, the brain trust, when that brain trust leaves the area, then the collective usually doesn't stay together. Whereas us, we're all residents of the SLO County area, and none of us are under 35. So hope for those of you out there who are older. Don't let that get you down. We just are so passionate about the music that we love to play. We're passionate about putting up really good parties, or at least having really good events, whether it's like a chilled event, we're playing out in a venue where people are like just sitting and listening to us, or who want to be able to throw down a really good party and just dance away. And we see people usually, a variety of clientele. The college students, but also a mixture. It's great to see the college students blend in with the older residents, in their 30s and their 40s. Mothers, parents who thought that they'll never be able to hear the music that we play around here, because around here, we're just used to like, music they play in KCBX, or not to knock the KCBX, I love you, but or yesterday's hits and today's favorites, those kind of type of stations. But we know people like to party, and we even get people like 50s or 60s, and they're like, wow, we have these kind of events around. We have DJs that do this kind of thing. They can't believe that. And I think that's part of our success too. And people see that when we do our performances. There's nothing, you can't fake your way through DJing. I guess you could, but you just work hard at really faking it. I think when people watch us and see us, and when we put the records on, or we're out of control and whatnot, and put the music on and feel the energy, and we feed off the energy of people. I think that all those sort of things that I just mentioned were contributors to our success in a way that you cannot imitate. You can't fake it. People are going to feel it. If they don't feel it, then they're going to know. And maybe we're not for everybody, but if you are into us, then you're going to tell your friends, and they're going to tell their friends. And and I think that's just the natural theme, and strength in numbers for us is what I like about it.
Wonderful. So what's your favorite place to have a party at? What's your favorite local venue to have a party at?
I don't want to be able to. I don't want to let no one venue down. Come on. I will tell you. Okay. I'll tell you this. We're all gonna miss Bang the Drum, the old location, even though it was a small location. It was away from downtown, just like the new location would be, and it was an intimate place. I always kind of wonder if people are going to be going outside at 10 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock at night, even though it might be like chilly, and people handled that pretty well, turned out. So it had its own charm. And also big up to Noelle and her father, Gary, rest in peace. They were the ones that actually helped me get my break as a DJ. Even though I pitched the event, they allowed me to be able to do it. And that was even before all the craziness with pre-sold us and sold us happened. And yeah, a lot of our events were held over there, and I think without them, there would be no sold us, and especially the Noel. Love you, woman, always. And I will also say one of our favorite events that we done was at the old Slow Brew downtown. Not now, and I'm not talking about the Garden Street one. I'm talking about the one on Higuera. Mm-hmm. We did Prince. We did a party. We did a Prince party over there, and it was his first anniversary of his passing, and that was phenomenal. It was like wall to wall people, front to back, even on the side between the bar and the patio. That was filled up. It was just so much fun. We have a soft spot too for Lewis Wine Bar, especially with the decor that they have over there, and we love it in the summer, especially when we could open up those big windows out in the front, and then you can be able to see, right on the street, people come by, go, hey, or honk or something, that's sort of special too. But so that's why it's hard for me to pin down one venue. We're appreciative of all the venues they've done, even Studio in the Park. Up the art gallery up in Paso Robles. Even that had its own kind of charm when we're able to set that up at times too, and do events for them. So we're not going anywhere. We're planning to do more at some point, and and it's hard to believe now. Is in November is going to be 4 years.
Wow, 4 years. Well, hopefully when it gets to your 5-year anniversary, this will all be over and you can have a party without Facebook.
Right. Have a party like it's 1999.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? That's also going to be 5-year anniversary of Prince passing too.
Wow. Well, you might be onto something there.
Yeah, well, we're not gonna not celebrate them. We just haven't got that far yet. Hopefully, this COVID business will be kind of behind us. They honestly say that it's probably going to take a few years for that to happen. So we'll see. But yeah, we'd like to be able to celebrate him large, and of course we like to be able to do more gigs. And also, one of the fun things that we do when we do gigs is we ask our friends to be able to join us from time to time. So we've asked Slow Girl when they were together, and then we've asked you, time to time, which is great of you to do. We've asked Binolistics, excellent soul collective down in South County. We've asked the Ideals, who are great guys, be joining us here. So we're also kind of selected about the kind of DJs that we like to be able to work with, and and I think that makes it for a more real DJ community. I mean, another person I can't forget is Manuel from Traffic Records, and he'd also been hard working contributor to the community too. And so I love this DJ community around here.
So where can everybody find you guys on social media? You have a website for Soul Dust and Velanche too?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Soul Dust and Velanche. That's right. So for Soul Dust, you can find us online at souldustpearl.com. It's got sufficient information about Soul Dust Productions, although the site needs a little updating, but it's not so outdated that it's not useful. So if you want to find out more information about us, if you want to be able to email us, you go there. We also we're kind of a little bit more active, just a little bit more active on our Facebook and Instagram, and you can go to Soul Dust Productions on our Facebook. That's our Facebook page, and Soul Dust Pro on our Instagram. And between those two, that's where we post our events first, the upcoming events. So you can go to those places. And as far as for me, you can go to Velanche, VELANCHE.com. That's my DJ page, and that's also my archive for many of my past shows and also mixes. Excellent. I also have a Mixcloud. You can go to mixcloud.com/Velanche. I have more dance-oriented mixes on that site.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to do this chat with me. I'm so glad we got to talk. I wish we could have done it in person, but maybe after the virus is, under control, we can do an in-person interview and get like updates, some of the new stuff that you've been doing.
Well, we definitely plan to have some more exciting events, whether it's in the middle of COVID or post-COVID. And yeah, I will hopefully have my own projects in the future that I'll be able to share with you.
Cool. Before we go, we're going to take a look at a few clips and tell everybody what these clips are going to be of.
Well, most of these clips are definitely from our parties. And so, in terms of you asking about how parties are like, it's just a little taster. If you were to go to a Soul Dust event, what you will be getting, the kind of vibe that we try to build up. And I think most of these are probably from our gigs over at the old Bang the Drum location. I should tell you that the new one is imminent. probably not going to be like the old location, but I'm hearing that the new one is shaping up. But yeah, so you'll be able to file those under great memories. So that's what these videos will be that you'll be able to see.
Awesome. Well, it was nice chatting with you, and can't wait to see your show on the 5th this month. And let's take a look at these little clips.